What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Arrival Entertainment, and today we're going to be talking about Uncharted, the newest movie based off of a video game. Uncharted is the big screen adaptation of the famous video game series. It stars Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg as Nathan Drake and Sully, and is directed by Ruben Fleischer. And in this movie, Nathan Drake and Sully meet for the first time. They embark on a journey to discover the world's greatest treasure that's never been found, while also picking up clues on what happened to Nathan's long-lost brother. When it comes to the Uncharted games, I've only played once with a friend of mine, and that was a long time ago, but I remember really liking it. I remember saying to myself, man, this would make a really fun and entertaining movie. So when I heard they were making an Uncharted movie, I, of course, got excited for it. And I know hardcore fans were concerned about this movie because they were going to be changing some aspects from the game into the movies, but you know, it's an adaptation of a game, so you kind of need to do changes to kind of separate yourself from that. I understand that, but I know there's some people out there that don't really grasp that. That aspect of them changing up some things from the games, it doesn't really concern me all that much because I don't have that connection to the games that a lot of hardcore fans do. I just went into this movie just wanting to be entertained because the trailers looked like the film was going to be a lot of fun. And that's all I wanted from this movie. I just wanted it to be fun and entertaining, and we did get that. I thought Uncharted was a lot of fun and very entertaining. I honestly don't quite understand all the negative reviews this movie is getting. I can understand a couple of things that some critics were mentioning. For instance, the plot of this movie. A lot of people were saying that the plot just takes so many elements from other big adventure movies like Indiana Jones and Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff like that. And yeah, the movie does do that. There isn't a whole lot of new originality when it comes to the plot of this movie. So it didn't bother me that this movie did take elements from other adventure movies like Indiana Jones, James Bond, a lot of people said Pirates of the Caribbean, and Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider movies. For instance, there's one scene that I can pinpoint that is a complete copy off of James Bond. It's the scene in the trailer with the plane and Nathan Drake is hanging off from the plane. That was a really good scene, by the way, but that scene is obviously taken from The Living Daylights when James Bond is fighting Necros at the back of the plane and they're dangling from like this cargo net that's being held onto it. So for me, it didn't really bother me all that much that elements from other adventure movies were used in this movie because, like I said, originality, it is hard to come by, especially for adventure movies. I feel like there's only so much you can do with adventure stories before it starts to get a little bit repetitive. I don't know, maybe that's just my mind thinking it, but it didn't bother me all that much, really. My biggest takeaway from this movie, however, is Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg as Nathan Drake and Sully. I thought they were great casting. They had really good chemistry together. They bounced back and forth off of each other really well. They had a lot of funny one-liners together. That's another thing this movie has. Not just from Nathan Drake and Sully, but there's a lot of funny one-liners in this film. I know a lot of fans didn't know what to think of Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. A lot of people said he's a little too young to play Nathan Drake. I was fine with it because, again, this movie is an adaptation of those games. It's not a continuation of those games or anything like that. This is very much a new start for the character Nathan Drake. So making him younger, I thought it worked in that aspect. And like I said, he had good chemistry with Mark Wahlberg as Sully. Everyone in this movie, acting-wise, I thought did a great job. My one thing I should mention, though, I was hoping there would be a little more Antonio Banderas in this movie. He's a phenomenal actor, and he's got a lot of moments to shine in this movie, but I wish he was in the movie a little bit longer. I'm not going to say what happens. All I'll say is they should have kept him in the movie a little bit longer. Another thing I liked is how well the action scenes are. There's a lot of action in this movie, and thank God none of it is shaky, none of it's quick cutting. You can tell what's happening. There's CGI in the movie, of course. I think the only time I noticed any obvious CGI was in that plane sequence. You can tell a couple times it's a fully CG Nathan Drake jumping from one cargo pallet to another, but it's one of those things where you know CGI is going to be involved in some regard, but I think they hit it pretty well for the most part. But I thought the action was well handled in this movie. There's some pretty good chases, there's some pretty good fight scenes. There's actually a lot of fight scenes and pretty brutal fight scenes for PG-13, but thank God it wasn't shaky. You could tell what was going on, and yeah, the action is very entertaining. Maybe I'm just a sucker for action adventure movies, but I don't really understand why this movie got bad reviews like it did. It's got some pretty fun characters. It's got great actors involved with it. Again, Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg are the big standouts. They work great off each other. It's got fun action. The movie looks good. If you can get over the plot being similar to other adventure films, then I don't really see what's to hate in this movie, really. The beginning of the movie did feel a little bit rushed. I will give the movie that. It felt like we were given a lot of information and jumping from one scene to another. But once we get to that auction scene early in the movie, then it's smooth sailing from there, pacing-wise. I thought the rest of the movie was very well paced. I don't know. I don't agree with the critics on this one. I had a lot of fun with Uncharted, and without spoiling it, the movie does set up a sequel, and I really hope we get that sequel. I would like to see more from these characters in this movie. And I definitely would recommend this movie. I think it's a pretty solid Blu-ray purchase. Again, if you can get over the plot being similar to other adventure films, then I don't see any reason why you shouldn't have a lot of fun with this movie too. So guys, that's my review for Uncharted. Just like always, if you've seen the movie, let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section. And how do you feel this movie compares based on the video games? Whatever your thoughts on everything is, let me know down in the comment section. And just like always, guys, thank you again for watching. I'm going to be seeing that movie Dog with Channing Tatum. That's going to be my next review, so look forward to that. Again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like and share it. Subscribe right here if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, take care.